Hello, my Teaserking family. Well, just paper price has gone up. So people don't even understand that it's just a derivative price. It's not a real price. So the questions that keep getting asked are, well, why hasn't the gold price gone up with all the inflation and all this and that? And it's just crazy that um, for them to even ask the question shows that they don't get it. For them, okay, do you ever hear me ask the question, why isn't the gold price higher? I'm telling you why it's not higher, right? I know, that's why I tell you. Now, you know, would you, if I was in an interview and I'm interviewing Alistair Cloud, do you think the question would come out of my mouth? Well, Alistair, why is the gold price so low? Fuck no. I already know why the gold price. The question that would come out of my mouth is, when are we going to the physical price? When will that come here? And we both know you know it's 20,000, not 2,000. That would be my question. Oh, it'll hit an all-time high paper price. Here's, and that's what I can't understand from these guys. And then you'll see them at the same question: why isn't the gold price going up? Why isn't the gold price going up? Or then you see Andy Scheckman or these other idiots I'm telling you about keep going to say, oh, this is going to be bad. This is going to, oh, the supply, everybody's buying. Well, if everybody's buying, why do they say, well, if more people bought, the gold price would go up? We got people buying, and the gold price isn't going up. So what the fuck are they talking about? Are I don't understand that they're that stupid. Anyway, my take on it. Now let's see. What do we want to go into? So I got to watch this one, which I've just discovered. Silver is the new gold. Silver 50 times, 100 times soon. I know Bobby's interested in it, as we all are. So maybe Alistair, no, this is Andrew McGuire. This just came out. Will be able to give us more of the when. And I haven't watched it. I just stumbled on it. So please bear with me. I would say watch it, but I'll watch it. 13 minutes. But I don't want to interrupt us to watch it. But we will watch it. And, again, it's probably from another interview. It's going to go up soon. My guess would be, well, as soon as the gold standard currency comes out, there goes gold, there goes silver. So my advice is to go buy at least a 20 ouncer of silver at this price, because when it hits 26, the thing's going to 35. So we got to get no. And I told you it was going to 26, going from 24 to 25. Now it's almost 26. Then it's going to go 35, and you better get it. I think I'll go right after the show and buy it. I've been hampered by my foot. I'm not starting work tomorrow. I thought I was. There's a delay in the computer for some reason. And I'm very confused. Okay, so I'll probably start Monday. Then I had a guy come to my door with the wrong address. I don't know what that's. Is that a scam or what? He says, is this like 220 or something? And I'm thinking, no, at the apartment complex, we all have the same address. He says, well, yeah, this apartment 103 is what I'm looking for, but I'm looking for this other address. And I'm like, and he had one of those boards, but he didn't have anything with him. And I'm thinking, now I was told that the computer's delayed, so we won't start tomorrow. I'm assuming Monday. And I could see where it's happened, where the computer needs to be done, but because they waited for background check, which didn't finish till like Tuesday night, you'd have thought they would have ghosted the machine yesterday and sent it out, but obviously they didn't finish ghosting it and sending it out. Probably come out tomorrow or on the weekend, and I assume I start on Monday. I have a call out, so if I take the call, I'll be very brief with it, just to say what the fuck. But I'm very surprised that this guy, I don't know who he was, but he had the clipboard and he's saying, "Oh, this is apartment 103," and I'm like, "Yeah," but he had a different address, and every address in this complex, this apartment complex, is the same address. It's all 22658. That's the address. There is no, it's one address, different apartment 102, 103, 202, and then there's different buildings with different, probably goes up to 200. So I was really surprised that he fucked the address up, but he had the right apartment, but he didn't have anything with him. He just had this board, and I was like, what the fuck? So I don't know if he was a scammer or what. He wasn't wearing like a FedEx uniform or UPS uniform. So I assume he was a scammer, but we will see. And he seemed weird. Like when I came to the door, he kind of backed away, and I don't know. But had I not been warned that the computer is a day late, I would have suspected that was my computer. So I got a call out to my guy going, "Hey, this guy came, to deliver something, but he had the wrong address." So, yeah, there was a kid at the pool yesterday, and I always am one. The lifeguard will ask the kid, "You got to be like 14 to be in the hot tub," and the lifeguard will go to the kid, "How old are you?" And he'd say 14. And so what I did, it was kind of quiet. I says, "So when's your birthday?" He says, "Oh, it's today, August 29th." I go, "Today's May 3rd." I go, "What year?" He says, 2008. He says, "I'm 14." And I go, "No, you'd be 15. This is 2023. So I'm looking at the kid like, you're full of shit, because not only do you look like you're 10, you say today's your birthday, August 29th, which it probably is, but it's probably like 2011. The kid's probably 11 or 12. And that's what I tell the lifeguards. Ask them for the birthday. Don't ask for the age. Because if they have to think about it, then they're lying. And I'm sure the kid was lying. Again, being an INFJ. So anyway, the Fed raises the rates 0.25%. What does that mean? To us, absolutely nothing. It means the economy is going to slow even more, which is going to be trouble. It's already slowed. That's why the stock market's going to crash, right? You're not going to make earnings. If you have to raise your prices, what happens? You sell less. The ribs, right? So if I have to raise my price on the ribs to $35 and my market's 25, am I going to sell the same amount of ribs at slabs as I did at 26? No, you're going to sell much less, because people are going to go, "I'm not paying." So prices go up, because that's what interest rates are. Interest rates are the cost of money, but these are between banks, right? So the cost have gone up, stocks will drop because companies' earnings will drop. That's what has to happen when costs go up. So you end up with that, and it just makes it very expensive, right? And but it's only in banking terms. This is not mortgage or car loans. Those have nothing to do with what they're doing. This is raising the cost of money. It's going to slow the economy. It's going to cause another depression, probably. That's why we have gold and silver, because that's going to protect us. That's your out, right? You're playing a game, you have an out. You're playing chess, you do, this is my out. This is our out, gold and silver. That's why we do it. I start talking about, because of the inflation, I want to get paid back. It's going to be inflated dollars. It's got nothing to do with the Fed. The Fed raises the interest rate 1/4 point, does not raise your house or your car payment. That's strictly independent. Actually, raising those rates should lower the car and the house payment because you would think there'd be less inflation will be controlled. But they are not raising the house or car payment. It's amazing how stupid these people are that they think that's what's happening, and it's not what's happening. So keep that in mind. The car, this does not raise the car or the house mortgage. The inflation does, because I want to get paid back. If I lend 10 and I want to get 2,000 is 12, what interest rate do I gotta charge to get it? And that's got nothing to do with the Fed raising or lowering interest rates. It's got to do with the inflation. How much money are they printing, and are they stop printing it? And they're not. So that's what we have with that. So the fact they raise rates 0.25%, they're killing the economy. They're not saving the dollar. I think they're trying to charge more for the people selling the money back to us. That's the only thing that makes sense. So Germany's got dollars. They don't want them anymore. They're saying, forget it, you keep them. We don't want to buy them. So they got to pay back. So I think that's where this percentage, this 0.25% comes in. Now they got to pay us 0.25% more. That's what I think it is. I'm not 100% sure, unfortunately. Apologize for that. But it's got nothing. It does not raise house or car rates. That is totally independent. It's based on inflation, not based on the interest rate that the Fed charges the other banks. It has nothing to do with it. So are they going to keep raising rates? They don't even know what they're doing, because normally an interest rate hike takes 6 months to get into the market. They've raised it, how many rates did they do? And I think the beginning rates are just starting to take effect. And they've been raising these for a year. So they've had maybe, a little bit of show how it's hurting the market. But with nobody wanting your dollar, what is that? You're killing the economy, right? Because nobody has dollars. So if you're in Europe, it's expensive. Like I said, it cost me $366 to buy 300 euros because they're charging a premium because nobody wants US dollars. So if we're going to take your US dollars, we're charging you a premium, which is saying we don't want your dollars. So that's going to hurt. What are you going to buy from us, right? So it's just going to kill our economy. And again, the only way out is gold and silver. You don't want to be holding this. Again, this gets you want to get rid of this because this is going to zero, and it is going to zero. There is no way around it. It is not the reserve currency. It's not okay. It's not fine. It's not, well, yeah, but we're the reserve currency, so we're fine. It is not fine. It is not. It is collapsed. It has gone through, this is how much your dollar's worth, right? And it's hit the iceberg and it's going out. Ship took 7 hours to sink. Well, the dollar is going to take, a few months to sink, but it will sink. They'll probably come out with a new currency and blame the Russians why this one's no good anymore. But the new one, if it ain't backed by gold, will be useless also. So you want to buy as much gold and silver, and I'm screaming $24 worth spot. So there's 30, but the spot's about to go to 35. So now it's going to cost you 40 to buy the silver that you can buy for 30. So I'm going to go buy another 20 ounces, really just to buy them. It can only protect me. And again, once it settles down to 10% to 10 to 1, so gold will be 50,000, silver will be 5,000. Then I can take 10 silver and buy some more gold. And that's kind of my thought of buying more silver, because for, $250, or no, let's say it's 30. So for $300, I can buy basically an ounce of gold that'll be 50,000. So don't kid yourself. The real price will come out. The gold standard. Yes, there's no other place to really go, but can you keep your money in gold? All right. So I'm a guy in Switzerland. Can I keep my money in this? Well, I know this is going out. This might be better than the Swiss franc, or it might be better than the euro, but I know this is going out. This is heavily inflated. So I know that's going out. So I only have one choice, which is to go to gold and silver or a gold-backed currency. So of all the currencies, they're all fucked, right? They're all going to zero. So your only choice, why would you come into the US dollar as a safe haven? You're not safe in the US dollar. It's going out, just like everything else. You can't keep printing it. It's going to zero. You can't keep doing that and expect it to be no problem. So that's what's happening. So that's what you got to understand. So right now they're trying to sell it like, when you look at the other dollars, is it is it stronger than the euro and the yuan and the yen and the ruble and everything else? I don't know. It's once all that money comes back in, once everybody says, I don't want the US dollar, and they get rid of it, and we want to get into the BRICS dollar backed by gold, and they don't want the US dollar anymore because they're not going to take it, then what do you do, right? So in my mind, that's where I see it. And so therefore you have to get out of that. And your only competition of this, so your competitor is gold, not the other currencies, because the other currencies are there. Now, when the BRICS comes out backed by gold, then yeah, you could go into that currency. But where can you use it? If I'm in Detroit, can I use the BRICS currency here? I don't know. Well, if it's backed by gold, I don't know. I assume, but I know if I have gold and silver, I can use it. And they can't make it. It won't be illegal. It's the only legal currency. So if we have to figure out what to do and how to cash it in, it's the same as a Rolex or a Mantle card, right? It'll have value. Your card will have value. Now, the other thing this moron said, this David guy, he said, well, they're going to eliminate debt. It's all debt based. He says, so they're going to have to take care of the debt. He says, but only for corporate, not for individuals. And again, I disagree with him. Absolutely, your credit card and your mortgage will go to zero. You won't owe it because it's based on when this currency goes out. So if they excuse the debt, they have to come out with a new currency. How do I pay my credit card if this currency isn't there to pay it? So no, all your credit card will go to zero. It has to because of that. But then the money in the bank will go to zero. So anything to do with this money will cease to exist. So you won't have cash in the bank and you won't have credit card debt and stuff. That will be individual and corporate. You can't do it to corporate and not do it to individual. So the guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Again, this Gordon guy. They can't excuse corporate debt and not excuse personal debt. It doesn't work that way. So everybody gets, a clean, the money in the bank goes to zero. So I have money in the safe. I'll have to change it for the new money and then go from there. That's how you get away from it. And then you just simply buy more gold and silver because obviously that's going to the moon once we go to physical. But COMEX, the only thing COMEX can do is eventually go to physical if it's still around. But if these bullion banks that Alistair talked to us about yesterday said the bullion banks are collapsing, they're the ones keeping the derivatives going. So if they're gone and the derivatives can't keep going, then it's going to go to physical and it's going to go way higher. So that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for the way higher. Now the government, basically JP Morgan wants to keep the price down because they don't want you getting out of dollars since they're the ones with the monopoly and they're printing it and they don't want competition. However, they're not going to, what they want and what's real is not going to happen. So that's what we have. So that's what's going on. We're going to watch this later. Silver, soon. So I'm going to watch that and I'll report that to you tomorrow. So it looks like I will not be working tomorrow. I'm hoping for Monday because I like to get back to work. I thought it would be good. I'd work Friday and then I'd have the weekend to kind of, adjust, getting up early and working. This has helped because this is keeping my mind sharp for 2 or 3 hours, teaching, because when you're at work, you work for 8 hours, although when you work from home, it's not the same. You're basically you want to go to the kitchen and make something, you're right there. You don't have to get in the car and drive. You don't have to drive home. You don't have to go to lunch. So it's an adjustment to then sit and start working from home. But anyway, for what they're paying me, I'm happy to do it. And then, like I said, I'm really just waiting for gold and silver to go up. Once that goes up, then then I don't need to work anymore. So anyway, so that's what we have with the rate hikes, the gold and silver real price. Just keep buying it. You have no other choice. And why you would keep your money in the dollar and the Titanic is beyond me. So why would you keep your money in the bank, in money markets and annuities and mutual funds and stocks and bonds? Why would you keep your money in something that's going to $0? Not anything. I'm diversified. Well, now is not the time to be diversified. Tom Brady doesn't play on New England, as I stated, which means the trends you use when Brady was at New England, you can't use anymore. So the old let's diversify in stocks and bonds and everything doesn't work because the stocks are going to keep their value. They're in dollars, so you're fucked there. And the only way out is gold and silver. So you should be 95% in gold and silver. A little bit out for your bills and vacations, and that's it. And that's where you should be. So it really makes absolutely no sense to be in stocks, bonds, and that. Your house, yeah, you have a house, but you're going to lose money probably in the short run. Right? You're selling them at $45, and the market's 25, and nobody's going to buy it. Well, your house is gone from, let's say it's 500,000, is now 600,000 with the interest rate, but the market's 400. So you can't sell it, and you got to lower your price to get to the market. Just like the rib guy, he's got to lower his price to get to the market, and the gold guy the house guy has to lower his to the market to have any chance. All right, let's get on to the NFL. So I was watching some college, which is what I enjoy to do. Let's see where we're at. Silver 25.97 and gold's 20.50. So it had hit 20.59. Okay. So when we look at left, so one thing I was watching, I said, let's look at, I started with, I want to say Terrell Pryor. I started looking at CJ Stroud. So I turn on Ohio State, Georgia, and I start watching the game. I didn't really watch the game. It was New Year's Eve, and I kind of checked the score, and I'm playing poker. And then when I got home, I put on just the highlights, which doesn't show you everything. So today I watched the whole game, like 3 hours. And I'm watching CJ Stroud, and I'm watching the Georgia guys. And one thing that you got to realize is the best player on Georgia, Nolan Smith, didn't even play in the game. He was injured. He hurt his quad against Florida. And so that's why their defense started to go bad, right? Why did they give up all these points to LSU? Why did they give up all these points to Ohio State? Well, Nolan Smith, their best player, was out. He was injured. He got drafted by Philly at the end of round 1, even though he's injured as well. So he was actually better than the defensive tackle that Larry Danielson said would be the number 1 pick in the draft, is this other guy, Walker, I think. So what you have is, after watching it, I was not impressed with C.J. Stroud at all. He didn't really do much. They ran a lot. He ran a tremendous amount, threw a few touchdowns to Harrison. But overall, at the end of the game where they needed some drives, he didn't come up. At the other end of the game, when he needed to kick the field goal, he ran. He didn't throw. So then he turned into Lamar Jackson, and he runs on Georgia, which he didn't do against Michigan, because then I watched the Michigan game. So I'm watching him. His passing, he's okay. He's hitting wide open receivers. Georgia was playing man on man, so the receivers were getting open. So he could run because Georgia played a man on man defense. Okay, fine. And they weren't getting the pressure to the quarterback because their best player was out. Okay, fine. Did he look, when you watch the game, wait a minute, the better player was Stetson Bennett, the Georgia quarterback, not the Ohio State quarterback. So I'm noticing that. So basically at the end of the game, and Bennett looked good. When they needed the touchdown at the end of the game, he drove them right down and then threw the touchdown, and they won the game. So Bennett got the win, even though they were taking away Bowers, the best tight end in the country. He couldn't get open. But he still found the secondary receivers to get the ball to. So I thought Bennett was the better quarterback in the game. And I'm going, why would you take Stroud? Bennett won the game. Then, and so Georgia's playing man on man. So Stroud's running more. Not what I want in my quarterback. And then at the end of the game, Bennett wins it and Stroud doesn't. Then I watched the Michigan-Ohio State game. I go, okay, let's see what happened. Michigan killed them. And I'm watching that game, and I'm looking, and Ohio State's defense was atrocious. Michigan, just a little pass, goes for a touchdown. Another pass, guy's wide open. Another run, guys go 60 yards. Right? It was like Ohio State looks like shit, right? And I'm watching C.J. Stroud. He did nothing in the game. Nothing. I think one touchdown, and then, they ran in for 2 touchdowns, so he doesn't do anything there. He looked way out of it. So if you watch the Michigan game, you never would have drafted Stroud. And if you watch the championship or the Georgia game, you would have drafted Bennett over. If you just looked at the game, who's the best quarterback, that's what you would have done. Hey, Bobby Bo, apparently they're having issues with the computer, and it's not going to ship it's not going to arrive tomorrow. So I'll start work, I guess, on Monday, I assume. I don't know the problem with the computer. I got to call into my guy. I'm going to take the call when he calls, where basically because it took an extra couple of days to get the background check, I thought they would have sent it yesterday and I'd get it today, but I guess they didn't send it yesterday. Maybe the computer guy was out or they didn't ghost it. So I assume it's either going out today or tomorrow, which I should get it tomorrow or Saturday. And I assume I'll start Monday. That's what I'm waiting for on the phone call. He said they'll tell him when it's being shipped. And I said, I just want to see, am I going to be starting on Monday? Not that it matters. Probably wasn't too into it on Friday. Like, let me start on Monday, which is what I was supposed to start this Monday. But the background check wasn't complete. So anyway, so I'm assuming next Monday. So I'll be here tomorrow. I did a video on their confusion of why isn't the gold price going up. I was watching this, and if you watch the other video, basically this David guy and this woman, and the woman says, well, with all that's going on, why isn't the gold price going up? Again, I can't believe how stupid these people are with the question. What do you mean? Why is the gold price? Why isn't the gold price going up? And then the answer is it's derivative. It's paper gold. That's why it's being manipulated. The physical price is going through the roof. Hey, Johnny. How did you know make the market good again now? Let's just buy gold. The gold market's great. And I believe, Bobby, that looking at silver is almost at 20. It's like 25.95. After the show, I got to go out and buy another 20 ounces of silver because, as I said, when it hits 26, it goes to 35, and it goes to 35. 5 over spot's going to cost me 40 to buy my silver. So if I can get it at 30, I need to for $10 an ounce. I need to go get it now. Once it goes to 35, then we'll see. But at this point, then that's what we're going to do. So anyway, so it's just a matter. It's amazing these idiots don't understand why the gold price isn't going up, and it's clearly fixed. But the guy like starts saying some shit. I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" The guy was clueless as to why the gold price isn't going up. As if, well, it's why isn't this team beating the other team? Well, because the refs are cheating and calling all these penalties. I mean, it's the same thing. So I don't really know. I'm sitting there just, what the fuck are these guys talking about? Anyway, so that's the other video. It's basically, I wanted to isolate, it's like 15 minutes. What? Yes, the gold price is manipulated by COMEX. Yes, that's why it's not going up. It's got nothing to do. If everybody in the U.S. bought gold, the price still wouldn't go up because they're still keeping it down on paper. So if everybody and their mother went and bought 100 ounces of gold, everybody in the U.S., it still wouldn't go up because of the COMEX. So I don't know what the fuck they're talking about with that. Anyway, I don't have gold, sir. I'm losing my bass. Johnny, all I can say is go buy gold and silver. I mean, this is your only competition for this. This is your only way out. So you're in a room, and the only way out, this won't work anymore, is to have a gold coin. Get the gold coin. So this is on the way out. This is no longer the reserve currency. Nobody wants it. And Russia and China want a gold backed currency, which is about to happen. There you go. That's what's going to happen. So that's why you get into it. Um, so if you're losing your ass, you got to get out of gold into, you got to get out of paper into gold. This is going to zero. So why would you hold it anymore? Get out of your stocks, get out of your bonds, get out of your banks, and get into gold and silver. Anyway, so that's what we were talking about. So now I'm talking about watching these football games to evaluate the talent. So as I say, if you watch the Stenson Bennett versus CJ Stroud game, you would have drafted Bennett. There's no way you would say Stroud's better than Bennett watching that game. Stroud ran more because Georgia played a man-on-man defense, which is what they like to do because they normally get pressure on the quarterback. They weren't getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Stroud couldn't complete a lot, and he ran a lot, which is not what I want in my quarterback. Then I watched the Michigan-Ohio State game, and Stroud looked terrible. He was pathetic. The whole second half, they couldn't even get first downs. His passes were terrible. You couldn't read the blitzes, the defense, the coverage. He had no idea what he was doing. And I mean, they got buried. They had like 10-0 lead. They ended 45-20. So if you go watch that game, you would not have taken CJ Stroud in the first round. That led me to the Georgia-Florida game because I wanted to see Mr. Richardson, and he sucks. Again, if you watched that game, you would take Bennett over Richardson. Bennett was the far better player than Richardson was. Richardson, I think, had one lucky touchdown pass where they blew the coverage. So he just threw a 10-yard to the sidelines, and there's nobody there, and the guy goes 60 yards. Otherwise, the other touchdowns were he was still running the play. He was running. He can't throw, can't complete passes. So it became him running. And why do I want to draft him? And here's Bennett throwing the ball all over the field. And as I said, why would you be beating Florida defensive players? They couldn't stop anything. Georgia is such a good team. The best, I think, draft was in the 7th round. Seattle takes McIntosh, the running back from Georgia. What a pick. This guy went in the 7th round. And the Lions drafted the guy from Alabama with the 6th pick. And yet this guy, McIntosh, is 20 times better. Good receiver, fast, good running back. Seattle got Charbonnet and him, and they got Walker from last year. Look out, Seattle, man. They're gonna get into the Super Bowl. They might be better than Frisco. They need a little bit more defense, but they drafted a lot of defense. Seattle is a tough out this year with all this running. Fuck me. So anyway, the Florida game was all Georgia. Bennett was much better quarterback in the game. So if you're watching that game and you said choose your quarterback, how would you choose Richardson? He looked terrible, and here's Bennett throwing it all over the field. So Bennett's much better. So Bennett's much better than Stroud, and Bennett's much better than Richardson. I don't know how you think Richardson is even an NFL quarterback to be drafted. I don't even think I would take. Young number 1 pick. You think Geno Smith will do enough? Okay. The problem is this Ohio State receiver they took, Nigman Smith or whatever. He's not going to play. I mean, he sat out he didn't even play against Michigan, and he didn't play in the championship game. It's a pulled hamstring, supposedly, for a whole year in the big games. This guy's not a winner. This guy's a loser. So that's hurt him, but they did pick up 2 nice running backs and some nice defense. I think Geno Smith is enough. I mean, I'd rather see them, I'd rather see him with Bennett or Hayner or Thompson Robinson would have been nice, but I think he'll be, he looked pretty good last year. And their problem was defense, which they added 2 or 3 strong defensive players. So, yeah, I think he's enough with the receivers and the running backs. Coach Pete likes running the ball down your throat, and he's got 3 good running backs now, Walker, Charbonnet, and McIntosh. And, they're going to be really hard to beat. Because once they start pounding it down your throat, then the passing opens up. The defense gets rested. They're a tough out, especially with Coach Pete. So after watching those couple of games, you have the quarterbacks reversed. Bennett was better than both of them, and I would have picked Bennett ahead of both of them. As I said, he's their guy. Hayner's the real deal at Fresno State. Watching the Tennessee-Alabama game, again, you got the wrong quarterback. Hooker was much better. Now, he's injured, but that didn't stop him from drafting. He had the hurt hip. He's drafted him the 3rd pick. And, you get a few weeks for him to come. So I don't know, Hooker. Now, the problem with Hooker is he's on the Lions. And if he's on the Lions, that's a problem. So we will see. But that's where I'm at. So I'll watch a few more games, but I'm really I watched the Michigan-Iowa game. And Michigan, why? Is because the Lions drafted this Jack Campbell. What a mistake. He's like a middle linebacker. He was never in the play. Michigan runs the ball down their throat. You don't even see him on the field. He's 31. He's never in a tackle. I didn't quite get he's the 1st round pick when you could have had these other stars. But that's where it is. I would have drafted the other Smith from Georgia there, not this linebacker from Iowa. I don't see it. I don't see he doesn't get involved in the play. I don't think he's fast. I don't know. I don't agree that he was a 18th pick, maybe a third round, fourth round pick. Okay. Gotten the guy out of Iowa State or Washington State or all these guys from Georgia are all better. They got guys. What I love about Georgia is their safeties and corners just come up and make these killer tackles. So the guy looks like he's going to gain 10 yards and he gains 2 yards and they just kill him. So that's what I'm looking at. So that's what I've been doing is watching more in depth because when those games were on, I was playing poker New Year's Eve. I mean, play these games on New Year's Eve is so stupid. Should be on New Year's Day. So people aren't staying in to watch the game when the ball's coming down. And this game went past 12 midnight. So you're going to not watch the ball drop to watch this game? Are you kidding me? So Ohio State, this coach is gone. Ohio State's coach, Todd Day. I mean, I'm sorry. What I saw, his defense sucked. He was up 45 to Michigan. Then he is up 43 to Georgia. Neither of these teams are really strong offensively. Michigan's a running team, so is Georgia. They pound it at you. They don't score 45 points, and yet Ohio State was never in the Michigan game. It wasn't even – they just blew them out. In the Georgia game, they got some lucky plays, but generally Georgia went up and down the field when they wanted to. And when Georgia blitzed, then Ohio State didn't do anything. Man, here's the video starting like it was, but it's better now, so it should be okay, Bobby. So anyway, I haven't watched. I got to watch Alabama, Tennessee game, but I think Hooker's better. I think Bennett's probably the quarterback I would go with because he wins the games, right? He beat Florida. He killed Florida, and I won. I had under 63 in that game, and they won 42-20. And they held Florida at the last play of the game at the Georgia 30, and he throws the ball out of bounds. And I thought I lost, and then I did the math, and I go, 63, under 63, 62. The game never should have been, Florida. And then you're drafting guys out of Florida's defense. They give up 42 points to Georgia. Georgia looks like such a powerhouse. They just – Brock Bowers, the receivers, the running backs, Bennett looks good, the defense. So I see that they're definitely that. Video looks fine right now, Bobby. I know what you're talking about, but I see it okay. I don't know if it's my computer or not, or my internet, but anyway, or YouTube. So that's football. So I've been looking more and more at these draft picks because I want to see them in games. I want to see C.J. Stroud against Georgia and against Michigan. And he didn't show up against Michigan, and he really struggled against Georgia. He ran it more because he couldn't throw, and he'd get sacked. He was scrambling a lot. And that's what he's going to do at Houston. He's not going to be, real strong. So I'm swelling, which isn't good. Today it's a little less swollen than it's been, but now I might go to the doctor to get. I don't know if it's gout. I don't know what it is, and it seems to hurt. I'll go to the club and take a hot tub, and I'm in pain walking there, and then I get out of the hot tub and I'm in pain walking to the car, that when I get home it's throbbing. So I don't want to go to the hot tub because it's good in the hot tub, but the walk back to the car is just too painful. So I got to see about that. Anyway, so as far as I know, we start work on Monday, so I will be here tomorrow. So that's NCAA. So I'm looking at players who, I'm looking at the draft guys. Big mistake, C.J. Stroud. Huge mistake, Richardson. As we know, huge mistake not picking up Bennett and Haener quicker. And Hooker going to the Lions, I think if the Lions took Joe Montana and Tom Brady, you wouldn't know who they're because they wouldn't have done shit because the Lions, they would have had Stafford, right? So anyway, that's what we'll see. All right, let's look at basketball yesterday. Boston blows out Philly. And as I said, their backs were against the wall. They had to win because they would go down 2-0. And there you go. Backs against the wall. Boston gets the big win. Now the series is tied at 1. They couldn't go down 2-0. Now, game 3, you don't do anything with. You just watch it, and then you bet the loser back in game 4. That's what you're trying to do. So Boston gets the win yesterday, laying 7.5. And now we got Golden State, the Lakers again. The Lakers up 1-0. Again, we want Golden State. It's where are we at? We're at the 4th. And we're going to take Golden State -6. And that's the only game. So that's what we want in our NBA pick. Take Golden State. It's a good bet. They must win because they're playing, they can't go down 0-2 and then go to the Lakers and play 2 games. So that's that. So let's understand this. They're trying to keep the price of silver down. They don't want it to compete. People are buying it, and it's still up to 26, even though they're trying to keep the price down. Imagine when they don't try to keep the price down anymore. When they let it flow, you're going to see at least 1-0 after it. It's going to be 260. So here goes silver, 26 on its way. The 35 right now on its way to, 500-600 on its way to 2,000. So very good there. This is the one to watch. We got to turn this on. This is our man, Andrew Maguire. And he even says massive changes in the silver market. When he says that, that's price going up. Keep that in mind. So I'm going to run and go buy more silver if they have any. See, the problem is, the problem is, do they have it? They keep selling their junk, wait, this isn't silver. Yeah, we found it in the back and it's a little bit stained, but it's okay. You just told me that if I bring back scratch silver, you won't buy it. Believe me, people will buy the scratch silver. They'll buy anything because they're buying an ounce of silver. They don't care the condition. I hate when they do that, like to try looking for reasons to screw us, and I'm not going to let that happen. But anyway, we will watch this with Andrew Maguire and see what he says. Alistair just talked about it. There was one on Alistair, I think I did yesterday, Bobby, that you'll want to watch. What else? So these rate hikes are really meaningless to, I love how they try to make it sound like, well, the rate hike makes the car and the home loan go up. No, it doesn't. Those go up because of inflation. The rate hikes the Fed does has nothing to do with inflation. That's just what they charge the banks, and they're charging them more, but it's got nothing to do with the inflation. The inflation with the auto and home prices, those are totally different. So anyway, keep your eye on that. That's where we're at. So because you your money out and inflation is weakening the dollar, right? It weakens the value. So again, if I want to get 2,000, if I want to loan Bobby 1,000 and charge him 2, I can get back 12, and this is losing value. I got to charge him 3 or 4,000 to get 12,000 because my 10,000 give me is not going to be worth 10; it's going to be worth 8. So as this loses value, which is what it's doing, so they can tell you all they want. It's the reserve. There's no competition. It's coming. It's China, Russia. Gold is coming. And if you don't, just go buy gold because you're just, it's coming. Like you're buying tickets for the football game. Well, the game's next week. It's coming and you got the tickets. And then here next week's the game. So the football game's coming. Gold's going through the roof and silver is because they're killing the dollar. It takes more dollars to buy the gold and silver. That's purely as simple as I can make it. It's going to take more of these to buy the gold and silver. So why would gold and silver not go up? Just on pure logic. So that's what we have. And that's where we're going with it. So buy it. Like I said, I'm curious. I've been, I don't think I've been there since I got back from Spain. Oh, Bobby, you asked me about checking in Spain for the gold price, but I just, I'm on vacation. I'm spending money shopping anyway and taxis and everything. So didn't really have the money to do it. And, I don't think it would have been any different than it is here. So I'll be curious if they have and what their price is, and go buy probably another 20 ounces. Well, if it's 30, it'll be 600. So I got 400 cash, and the rest will be credit card or debit card, whatever. Monday I get Social Security, and then hopefully I start work Monday. That's what I want to ask the guy. Is everything okay, or is it's really just a shipping thing and I'll get everything, we start work on Monday for sure, or are they going to change their mind before they start me that they're going to, not do it? That's what my concern is, the delay. Why would they delay shipping me my computer? And then are we starting on Monday or not? Well, I texted him and he texted me that it's not coming today and your start date's pushed back. And then he says, so as soon as they ship it, I'll let you know, which I said, well, what does that mean? Like when they ship it today? Like, so then I called them and I left a message going, well, can you call me? And then he texted me, says, I'm at lunch. And I said, okay, I just have a question. Can you call me? He says, yeah, as soon as I'm done with lunch, I'm with the colleague. I'm like, okay. And again, until I start, I don't start. Now I'm prepared not to work. That's where I've been. But for this job, I'm excited and I'm hoping that I get it. Now with this Fed rate hike, I hope that didn't cause a problem. I just want to get started. And I don't know how long I'm going to be able to work because they're going to start laying off. Then, I'm gone. But I just want to start. So I just want to hear from him. No, I'm waiting. That's what I'm waiting for. It should be anytime now. And we will know from there. There's another person I can call. Who's he's the sales rep, and then there was a girl at the office. Maybe I'll try her. Yeah, they're in Florida. So if he doesn't call me soon, I'll call her. But again, I'm like, why would you delay the shipment? Now, I got to ask you this question, Bobby. So some guy who's posing as, I guess, a FedEx person, or he didn't have a FedEx suit on, and he's got a little clipboard, and he goes, is this the address? And it was not the right address. There's only one address in the whole apartment complex. It's whatever your apartment number is. But I'm at 22658, and he was like, he wasn't 22658. He was a different number. He says, but I got apartment 103, but he didn't have boxes or anything, which you would have thought he would have bought the box to me. and then he would have delivered it, but he didn't have a box. And so he had this thing, and he says, is this, is this whatever the wrong address is? I think he was just snooping around. So I'm waiting for the computer, but then this guy's saying it's delayed, so it's not going to come today. So therefore, why am I getting a delivery? Because I didn't order anything else. But the with the thing without that, so I think he was trying to scam me. Maybe that's my thought. Like, because there's only one address, and you wouldn't be here with address, right? If every address is 22658, apartment 103, 503, 206, no. So I don't know. I'm curious about that, but I'll have to keep my eyes open. He needs to get with it and smell what the rock is cooking. Well, I agree with you, Bobby. That's why I'll give him another few minutes and I'll call the girl. Maybe I'll call the girl now. Hold on while I make this call. If I don't get a call back, hopefully she answers.
Alexis Hendrick is not available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone. Press the pound key to end recording.
Hey, Alexis, this is Howard Robbins. I know the computer was delayed. Do you know when it's going to be sent? And then would be my start date be Monday? Just get settled and get going. I was expecting to start tomorrow, so I guess at this point I'm expecting to start Monday, but I just want to confirm with you. So if you could give me a call back, 248-921-7695. Again, Howard Robbins. All right. Thank you. Have a nice day. All right. So they're both like, where the fuck are they, right? But they're busy. They're recruiters. So I expect the call by 2:00. It's 1:30 now. But we'll see. That's the point in this recession area. Until I'm start working and I'm working, I'm not working. And like I said, I gave them my social and my business, I gave them everything. And I did interview with them on Teams. So I'm pretty sure it's a real job. Then the question is simply what's going on here as far as starting. I'm not really worried yet. If I don't hear by the end of the day and I don't hear tomorrow, I will be worried. But again, I'm living on Social Security and the unemployment and the money. So it's just a matter of going and buying gold because I'm going to get a job that's going to make me a lot of money, or not buying it because I need to be careful with my money. But I'm already planning of not working. So this will be good if I can get this. So we will see. Anyway, I hear you, Bobby. It's crazy. You're trying to figure out what's going on. So anyway, give me a second. I'll be right back. I gotta do something. So I was surprised the phone didn't ring. Usually, if you leave it, it of course rings. But we will see. Let me check my email. Oh, here it is. Hi, Alexis.
Hey, this is actually Jacob.
Hey, Jacob.
Sorry, the number looks really similar though.
Yeah, I see the 813. Well, I have you as Jacob, so normally I'd see a Jacob. Anyway, just curious, do we know, is the start date Monday or has anything changed or just curious?
Yeah, actually just when I got back from lunch, I had an email in my inbox with the tracking information, which I just sent you too, so you also can track it. But it looks like your equipment should be coming tomorrow, so as long as it arrives, either tomorrow or Saturday, we should be all good to go for Monday. And they told me that they'd have your username, password, and start instructions coming soon. So either probably today or tomorrow should have that information coming over too. So yeah, looks like we're on track for Monday.
Okay, perfect. I just wanted to verify if something was going on, but that sounds fine then. We're just a day late. It's fine. I'm fine. Actually, I probably would have rather started Monday anyway, just to have the weekend and all that. So that's perfect. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I figured it's kind of nice to not have one day working and then 2 days off, and then go back right back into it. It's kind of nice to start and have a nice consistent flow for that first week.
Well, I think it's like I was ready to start this Monday, and to start on Friday weekend. Yeah, like you said. Now, if I've been there for 6 months, you wouldn't mind the Friday than the weekend, but just to start, you're probably better off. You'd fit everything on the over the weekend anyway, so probably better that way. All right, perfect. So I will. All right, so I will. Well, I'll text you as soon as the stuff arrives. What confused me is some guy come to the door like he was a FedEx guy or something, and I'm thinking, I thought you told me that it wasn't coming, and yet here's some guy like a delivery guy, but he wasn't in uniform. I don't know what it was, and he gave me the wrong address, and it's like this is an apartment complex. Every address here is 22658. It's just whatever the apartment number is. So I thought that was really strange, but it wasn't you guys. Well, I'm not expecting anything, so I don't know what this was. I'll have to report him to the office. But anyway, so that's great. I'll expect to start Monday. My girlfriend will be happy because I said I'm finally back to work. We can afford things again. So we're all excited. So anyway, that's great. I will let you know as soon as I get it. We assume tomorrow versus Saturday, or
Yeah, as long as it's on schedule. Says on the email I got that it's scheduled deliveries for tomorrow. So
perfect.
Yeah, hopefully no more delays, and it'll be right there.
Not a problem. Is this FedEx or UPS?
UPS. I sent you an email with the tracking number and everything you need, so you can even check the status yourself and make sure you're ready for it whenever it arrives.
And then it's going to come to the door, not the mailbox, right?
Yeah, I would expect that. I don't think it would. I'd imagine it's a little too big to get in the mailbox. So
yeah, I would.
Unless maybe did they ever hold packages in the front office or anything like that, or no?
I've never gotten one since I've been here, so I don't know. But I'm used to if something like that was delivered, it would come to the door. They might make you sign for it, or they might not. But usually, if I get a FedEx thing, it comes to the door at my old place. So I would expect it. Something like this to the door. They might make me sign for it, but I would think the door. Right,
Yeah,
perfect.
I would be ready for it. Just in case they do have you sign for it. Yep.
Yeah, I'll be around tomorrow. I'll make sure. Okay, great.
All right, awesome.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome, Howard, and I'm excited for you. Let me know how things go Monday. All right.
I certainly will. All right, you take care. Thank you very much.
You too. Yes.
All right, so I start Monday, which is good. 81, yeah, they're 813. That's their area. That was his. Well, I know they're in Florida. Yeah. Yeah, I know he's in Florida. So it's just maybe they didn't go to the machine in time and then they sent it out. But he's got the tracking numbers in my email. So that's perfect. So now we smell what he's cooking. So now that'll give me that. Bothering me, I might go to my doctor to get some more colchicine. I don't think it's gout. I don't know what the fuck it is. It seems to get more swollen like when I walk on it. So I walk back, so I'm in the hot tub and I walk out of the hot tub and I kind of can walk on it. And then I walk all the way back to the parking lot into the car and then it starts swelling up. And I get home and it's like, like Bugs Bunny and I'm trying to go to sleep on it, which I can't because again, it's finally I take like 4 ibuprofens and finally can get to sleep. And I'm thinking, so I don't know what to do. I don't know if this is a flow thing or is it gout? Is it arthritis? I don't know what the fuck I got. But my back's fine, but usually it's the right foot that bothers me. So the right foot must get gout. So I think this is something else. I think this could be arthritis, but I'm not sure. You should output the rock music in his ears. Well, I'm going to do that when I get my boss. I'll start off with the Undertaker and we'll end with the Rock. I think that'll be funny. So anyway, watching these games, that's what I'm getting out of it, is they clearly miss the point of drafting. You draft the player. Like if I was watching you, where did you go? Did you go to LSU, Bobby? Because you keep bringing up LSU or, stuff. I watched you in college and then you're hitting all these home runs and you're hitting all over the place. It'd be pretty easy to fucking draft you. Because if you're doing it, if you're not doing that in college, how can I draft you? So I think when I see this, how is Richardson? All right, he was terrible against Georgia. How is he going to get better in the NFL? Stroud he put up a lot of points against an injured Georgia team, but if we looked at him against Michigan, he sucked. And he's 4 against Michigan. So we've got 2 bad years against Michigan. How is he supposed to do better in the pros? Well, we look at Bennett coming on and winning these games, and we even Duggan got drafted, the TCU quarterback. I was excited to see. So we expect Bennett to do better. Now, Jimmy Chu here says, well, he's too short, and I disagree with that because the Georgia linemen and the Ohio State defensive linemen are pro players, right? So if he was fine there, why wouldn't he be fine in the pros? I don't agree with the argument of too short. He's a winner or he's not. Montana was not very tall. And we know Drew Brees and Warren Moon. There's a lot of short quarterbacks. Where this is coming from, that he's too short or too look at Ryan Leaf and that other and McGuire's brother. They were like 6'6". They sucked. So I don't know where height has anything to do with quarterback. That's just bullshit. So that's what I see. Bennett and everybody else. It's just bullshit. So anyway, that's my point there of what's going on. So I look at it that's how you judge how to draft somebody is they have a good game and a big game. They're probably going to translate to the pros. And if they don't show up, probably not. So that's my point, really. Anyway, so what else? Let's see what our gold's doing. Now I'm getting excited because it keeps silver 25.94 and gold 20.40. So silver hit 26 and they put the brakes on it. But ready. So that's good. So I'll have to go buy some more silver. So right after this, I'm going to go buy another 20 ounces of silver. Hopefully the rounds, but if all they got is the Eagles, then I'll buy the Eagles at 35. 40 for. Well, I don't want to. If I do, I'll pay 10 as opposed to 20. But I got it. That's what I'm wondering. What if the guy who came to the door, he seemed a little bit shady in the fact that he seemed like he stepped back. Like, I don't know if he was surprised I was home or whatever, but something didn't smell right from from the INFJ standpoint. Although I don't know what. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on them. But that's the thing, working from home, nobody's going to come in the house, and we'll go from there. But anyway, so I'll probably go to my doctor. I don't know. I'll see tonight. But again, I want to go to the hot tub, but if I can't get to the fucking hot tub, and if I can't walk, I'm walking, it's right on my Achilles now. So if I can't walk, and that's what's hurting my back, because I'm walking funny to support my Achilles on my left foot. And I can feel my back. Right now my back's fine, but I can feel it. So that's what we'll have to do. So anyway, go back with that. I don't care that you heard the phone call. I talk about everything here, so not a big deal. Very open family. So that's what we have with this. Buy your silver now because it's going to go to 35. Gold, you got time, but still buy it. At 2050, it's 20. It's at least 21. I think the Cougaran will be 21 and a quarter. Now, I think I want to buy a few more ounces of it because we're so close that another couple ounces won't hurt. I gave Jenna half an ounce. I know I got to give Daria and Irina some gold when I meet them. I finally meet them. We'll see what happens there. What else? Poker. Again, just it's all based on the tell. Everybody gives you a tell. It's just reading it and then reading, is it a real tell or a fake tell? But again, I don't know. Matt Damon says so many mistakes in the movie in Rounders. Says, "Oh, you don't have zero outs when only one card will help you." And it's like, no. 0 outs means there's no cards that can help you. 1 out means there's 1 card that can help you. It's mistakes like that is made throughout the movie. It's absolutely ridiculous. And he keeps quoting, Doyle Brunson this and Smooth Jimmy Apollo that. And you're like, I don't give a fuck. It's the only real game. Texas Hold'em's not the only real game. It's a fucking luck game. There's no skill involved. For example, Teddy KGB has aces, eats his Oreo cookie. They check and then the ace 9 comes. So he's got 3 aces and 9s. Damon's got 3 9s and aces. So what kind of skill is there? He can make whatever bet he wants. The guy's not folding. He's got a full house. The guy's not smart enough to see the Oreo cookie in the fold. What pisses me off about that is if I'm Matt Damon, I don't tell him his tell because I'm going to tell Spaghetti and all these other guys that this is his tell. And then we can just take him down slowly. And that's what you never tell somebody their tell. And he certainly didn't need to tell him. Could have caught the tell and just kept going. Nothing would have changed. Actually, how did it go faster? He didn't know any of the tells because the guy wasn't eating the cookies anymore. So, why would you tell the guy to tell? Oh, I was in a hurry. Dude, you weren't in a hurry. You already won your money. So again, this is the problems with the movie. Oh, I'm going to Vegas. Anyway, so the beauty of my job is it's remote for Harley, right? They're in Milwaukee. I'm in Detroit. I can go to Vegas. I can go to Tampa and buy Brady's house and be neighbors with Bobby. I could go live wherever I want in the U.S. right now. later, I think after 6 months, then I could go to, if I want to live in Spain or Portugal or Amsterdam, I could do that. And, and live and work there. I don't think it matters as long as I'm on their hours. I don't even know if that's going to matter after a while. As long as the work gets done, I don't think they care. Like at Mercedes, they're all in Germany, so we're all in Detroit, so they would work their German hours. They didn't work our hours. It was a 5-hour time difference. So at noon, when I'd get there at 8 o'clock in the morning, it was 1 afternoon. So that's when the meetings would take place. So that was kind of what was going on. And anyway, so we'll see, but it's nice. I mean, I could go take a 2-week vacation to Vegas, rent an apartment out, or even go a month and work from there. So I'm thinking I don't even have to take vacation here. I could go to Florida. I can go to North Carolina. I could go anywhere but Alabama. I could go to Vegas and vacation, but work. So I could spend the weekend at Caesars, but Monday through Friday from 5 a.m. to noon, I'd be working and then I'd be free. I could do that. Nobody care because it's a remote position. This is beautiful. I've always wanted to move to like Vegas, but we'll see. Although Vegas is getting so weird, I don't know if I want to move there. What is the deal charging for parking? All right. So I remember I was there as a kid. Why would you charge for parking at the casino? You're trying to keep people away because people are going to be drawn to the places they don't have to pay. Or I would park at Bally's, or even if I parked at the Tuscany and walked over, it's a 5-minute walk. What if I don't have to pay for the parking? Or just, it's like, what are you fucking doing? Well, we're trying to get more money. You're not. You're keeping people away. They missed the point. Getting people to your site. Like here, I don't charge for the class. I get more people. If I charge for the class, I don't know what I'd get. I don't know. But that's the difference. And then when I see these guys on these other gold shows and other economic shows, well, I haven't really met an economist, right? On these shows, they're all gold dealers, Peter Schiff and Maloney and Rickard and Aldi and this Gordon guy. They're not, any of them are economists. And then when I had one channel that had 3 different economists, was bullshit because there's only classical Austrian or there's the Keynesians. That's it. There's only 2 types of economics. Sorry. Hate to break it to you. So anyway, let me send a picture. So anyway, this is what I don't understand in Vegas. The beauty of Vegas in the late 70s and 80s when I turned 21 was they would bring you in. You would come in for the $2 stake, and then you would play blackjack and lose $50, and your $2 stake's really a $50 stake. And so everything was to bring you in to gamble. Now they keep you out so you don't gamble. $150 to watch a football game, you got to be out of your mind. Pay for parking, really? Pay for the drinks at the sports book, really? I mean, so what they're missing is you want people to come in and you're pushing them out, and they miss the whole concept. So that's like if the guy, like my rib guy, if he charged $10 to come in, he wouldn't have anybody in his restaurant. That's why I have against Costco. I'm not going to pay Costco to shop there. It's principle. I won't do it. And that's the problem. So I'm not going to pay Costco to shop there, and there's no reason to. And what they give for me, a single, is not really a big benefit. What they would give to, then I get at Myers or Target, right? I'm not buying 100 toilet papers or steaks or whatever. I'm not buying 12 steaks. I just need a couple. So that's the difference. So what I buy there is what I buy there, and go from there. But when you pay to come in, that's anything that costs you more to come in is not good. So anyway, what else? So get out of money, get into gold, silver, pretty obvious. That's the key to it. You're going to get burned. See, this is going to zero. So anything you're in with this, you go to zero. We're warning you now to get out of it. I should say, I'm warning you now, but that's the key to it. And the question is, well, is that really going to happen? Is it really going to go to zero? And the answer is yes, because once you inflate, you can't, once you print so many Barry Sanders Pro Set rookie cards, you can't take them back. So they don't have value because you printed so many of them. Well, that's what you have. These the value of this cannot go up, and it's never gone up once we've been off gold. So since 71, the value of that dollar has gone down. Now you don't know it, but just watch an old TV show from the 70s, and even Seinfeld in the 90s, they would buy blueberries at 28 cents a pint or something. So everything was much cheaper. And that's really how you can look at it is, let's say a Coca-Cola, it was 20 cents at the little diner that the kids would go to, like on Happy Days or something. It was 20 cents, 30 cents. I just got a 2-liter with $2.79. I mean, it's a joke. That's what you have to understand. What other clever economic stuff can I bring to the table here? So let's look at, I was quoting it. J.P. Morgan got the U.S. into World War I, sold arms to both sides. This is J.P. Morgan, 1917, U.S. goes into war. Lenin starts communist revolution, and the guy at the hot tub obviously starts reading it. Germany, 1921, raises tariffs, starts the depression at first. Easy money, our agriculture got busted, government bailout started the depression. What's happening now? Government bailout started the depression. I mean, it's the same thing. 1924, new era, government ability to interfere in the economy, inflation. Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act caused depression, trade implosion, major reason of World War II, let the war parties come into power. So again, it's a tariff act. It raises costs, it raises taxes, and that's the whole point of it. So once that gets raised, what do we got now? Higher taxes, higher inflation. Everybody, see what they're doing to you by doing the inflation. If they think everybody's stupid, you just hold the dollar. You go, I got $100 bill. Yeah, but it's not worth $100 anymore. It's worth $10 now, right? It's worth this much right now. So everybody's getting fucked only if you keep holding this. If you're into gold and silver, the Mantle card or the Rolex, the inflation doesn't hurt you at all because it only hurts people holding the dollar. So if you just can understand that part of the equation and that part only, hey, the inflation only hurts people with dollars. So if I get out of this, I won't get hurt by the inflation, which is the value of the dollar dropping. So why do I want to hold dollars that are going to drop with the inflation? I don't. So to get out of it, I got to buy substitute goods for the inflation. Substitute good for a dollar is gold and silver. Now, maybe I buy silver. I don't need to buy gold, but eventually 10 ounces of silver is going to buy me an ounce of gold. So if I only pay $400 now for 10 ounces or $300 for 10 ounces, for $300, I can buy a $50,000 ounce of gold. And yes, it will be there. See, the biggest thing I see is everybody sits there and everybody goes, oh, wait, this is this is COMEX. The value of the silver has only gone to $50 because it's always COMEX. It's never been free market physical gold and silver, which is what we're going to have for the first time. Tom Brady's always played for New England. Now he's on Tampa Bay. It's never been on Tampa. This is the first time Brady. So where they, well, Tampa's never, won a Super Bowl. Well, they never had Tom Brady. All the New England trends are no good because Tom Brady's not there anymore. I know I'm going back a year. So gold's never been, silver's never been more than $50 an ounce. Tom Brady's now in the silver game. This is gone, right? This dollar is gone, which is what kept COMEX at silver under $50. So you don't want, so they wanted you into this, not into the competition of silver. That's what they're doing. So now they are going to lose. COMEX is going, it's gone. They can fight to keep it, but eventually there's too many people buying it and too many governments buying it. And most of all, Russia and China, who they're not going to go kill Russia and China to keep them from COMEX. And that's really the key. They killed Gaddafi and Saddam Hussein because they wanted to go to a gold-backed dollar. They didn't want the U.S. That's what every country should be doing, is getting a gold-backed currency. Then you don't have to listen to this shit, because then do they have to, well, I don't trust Russia or China either. Yes, there is no competition for the dollar versus other currencies, the euro, the yen, the yuan. However, it can't compete with gold. Gold is the Georgia Bulldogs of college football right now. And so you're saying, well, you can't, who can compete with Ohio State and Alabama? But the gold is Georgia. You can't compete with them. They're in a league by their own. And therefore, that's the key. So that's really what you're looking for. Here is, you're looking for a way out of this into gold, but they're not saying that. They're saying this versus other dollars versus the euro. I think I have a euro somewhere. I don't know. My foot's bothering me, so I don't want to do this, but I think I have it in my gym bag. I have like a 2-year. Oh no, I'll tell you what I got. Okay, so let's compete. We have this, and then we have this. This is a €5. See, €5. Does this compete with that? No, but neither of them compete with gold. So you have this, you have this, you have wands, you have yens, you have British pounds, Swiss francs, but guess what? They're all the same, and none of them compete with gold. So if you're in this or this or this or that or this, it doesn't matter. These are all the same. These are all not backed by anything, and they're all printed to death. This will go to zero, and this will go to zero. But you know what won't go to zero is gold and silver. And that's really the lesson learned. So we see it happen before. Why did World War II happen? That's a good question. One, the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act. Two, the London Economic Conference never happened. Branch banking Canada, unit banking US. Well, that's not one. So basically the tariff and basically what was the London Economic Conference? It was to restore trade, free stabilized currencies. That never happened. So you didn't have that. What did Germany do when they went into a country? They stole the gold. How did the gold end up in New York? Because all the countries, Paris and France, or Paris and England, and all these countries sent their gold to the U.S. for safety, because they knew that's what Hitler was doing, was stealing the gold. That was the war. Hitler stealing the gold because they were broke was why there was a war. No, I went to a different time. All right. It's funny how there's wars because of the dollars, because of inflation, because of gold. You fuck with people's money, you get wars. Let's talk about Keynes. Limit of output. Output goes up, prices go up. Savings is a leakage. Inventory comes from spending. Things go up. Consumption goes down, investment goes down, output down, income down, and savings down. That's Keynesians. The Austrian says, well, no, consumption drops, savings go up because you're not spending. The interest rate should drop, profits should go up, investment should go up, output up, and income. So this is where I get frustrated. Austrian. It's either or. You can call it A or B. There's no difference. So when these idiots come out with a video trying to say there's three, and this is in Austrian and classical, no, that's this. It's free market, okay? So if business tries to make a profit, if savings go up, interest goes down. Okay, not interest rates down. Interest rates drop for three reasons. Savings goes up, money supply goes up, and no demand. New technologies, costs drop, standard of living productivity. That's like the computer, right? So when the computer comes out, it gets cheaper because it's $200. Standard of living goes up because now I'm on the computer, and then productivity goes up because now I'm on the computer doing things 20 times quicker than I could have if I had to write them out. Productivity increases, price drops, dividends goes up, wages go up. So that's the key to Austrian economics, is the productivity, and you're trying to increase productivity while reducing costs and increasing the product. You're trying to reduce the costs, increase the productivity, increase the wages because you're more productive. That's the old thing of what Austrian economics is, right? It's the division of labor. I'm going to be a financial analyst, senior financial analyst for Harley, right? I was for Mercedes. That gives me a bigger paycheck, bigger standard of living, and that's what I do. Now, when I was at the Mickey Mouse place, the Bernie Madoff company, doing bolts, nuts, and bolts, or whatever the fuck they were doing there. There was this girl who came in, and the manager goes, "She's a jack of all trades. She can do this, that, and the other." That's not what you want. You want a guy who comes in and he understands finance. He's got a master's in it. He understands SAP and Excel. He can do budget. That's his thing. That's what you want in a real company, is the division of labor. Bobby, you wanted him to hit fourth. You wanted him to hit for power, and you wanted him to hit 300. You didn't want him to bunt. You didn't want him to steal bases. That's what you wanted back. I need that 3 and 4 hitter who can hit for power and hit 300 and drive in 100 runs. That's what you wanted. Then you had another guy, Bobby Bonds, not Barry, who could lead off and hit 300, and it was fast, get a lot of singles, and steal a lot of bases. So I needed my base stealer, my base guy, get on base, steal bases. You're fast. And then I need Bobby and Barry to drive him in. So you need division of labor to do that. That's what you want. You don't want the one player who can do both. That's not really what you're looking for. You want either a power hitter or a fast guy. Now, it's the same in the field. He can play short and second and third and first. No, I want Brooks Robinson at third. I don't want Brooks Robinson at short and second, or Mark Belanger. I want him as my shortstop, or Paul Blair. I want as my center fielder. That's what I want. He's the best center fielder. That's what I want. I'm watching the Packers. I want Paul Horning as my halfback. I don't want him as my tight end. I don't want him as my secondary. I want Herb Adderley as my cornerback. I don't want him as my linebacker or defensive end. And I want Willie Davis as my defensive end. That's where I want. So I want the division of labor. And then I'm the best team because I have Willie Davis and David Robinson and Ray Nitschke and Herb Adderley and Willie Wood. So they ended up with like 7 Hall of Famers on their defense. And it was very strictly, that's what you wanted. You don't want the guy playing for positions. You want the guy who's great at one. And that's it. You're my defensive end. That's what I want. That's division of labor. That's Austrian economics, as clean as I could put it. Keynesian does not do that. Keynesian is not looking for that. They want to limit output. They don't want savings. They don't want you to save. They want you to spend to grow the economy. And that means we got to print more dollars to grow, because all they care about is growing the economy, not the people. Austrians care about the people. The better your skill set, the more money you make, the better you are. The other way, we don't care about the people. We just want the economy to grow. That's why Keynesian doesn't work. Keynes, mature economy, no more can be invented. Demand side economists. We want supply side. Overall structure of the economy is a black box. Homogeneous are the Keynesians. Labor and capital is all the same, but the heterogeneous are the Austrians. All capital is different. You are a baseball player. I am a financial analyst. We are not all the same. In the Keynesian world, we're whatever. I need you to play baseball. I need you to play football. I need you to be a financial analyst. No. Everybody has their own little thing. So I really take you when I watch a video and it says the Keynesians, Austrians, and the classical. I'm like, what? Or like the monetarists. What the fuck is that? There's only Austrians, classical, or there's Keynesians, communists. That's it. So the government says we're making red shirts, making electric cars. That's the government. That's communism. We're making electric cars. We're coming out with the CBDC, if you like it or not. That's communism. That's not what we want. We want Austrian. We want, what do you guys want? Oh, you don't want electric cars, gas cars. Okay. That's what we'll make, is the gas cars. And then everybody makes more, does better, grows their productivity, and everybody grows that way. So everybody becomes more wealthy. The economy grows because, oh, you invented, a new phone. Oh, good, I'll buy it, right? Because I got money and I want to buy the phone. And that's what you basically do. That's the key to economics, not this bullshit they're shoving down your throat with Keynesian. Oh, well, everybody will have an electric car and everybody will have a CBDC. No, if you don't want it, you can't shove it down my throat. I'm not a communist. That's what a communist is. And that's what they're trying to push. And for some reason, why the fuck are they bringing it to the US? We are not communists. We are capitalists. We determine what we want. That's it. We do not have somebody telling us what we want. We determine by like if you want to make steaks $10 and there's different brands and we want to buy them, then we determine that we voted that we want it. And if there's some things that we don't want, you go fucking try to buy a salmon now at $20 a pound. Fuck that. I ain't buying it. It's too expensive. That's where we vote price-wise and say, no, it's too expensive, lower your price. Especially farm-raised salmon should not be that expensive. It's terrible for you. So you really don't want to, we determine by what we buy and what we don't buy. Price is too much, price is not too much. Nobody buys this, then you can't sell it. Then you don't make it. I'm looking at stuff, but I don't. Two types of money: pure money, gold, cash; hybrid money, checks, where you got to cash it. Yeah. Inflation, repressed wages and price controls, creeping 1% to 2% every year. Latent, cash crunch. Imported, all countries are fixed to one country, which is what we have now. Notion of inflation, idle resources, prices go up through idle resources. The money illusion, the value of the dollar is dropping. International market won't tolerate inflation. Rational expectations, every thinks inflation will happen. So that's what you're trying to avoid, is rational expectations where everybody thinks inflation will happen. Well, I think we're there now. So the government keeps trying to say, no, it's temporary. No. There's no such thing as temporary inflation. You either have it or you don't, right? And we have it. I mean, it's either A or B. There is, those are the expectations. Killed, stagflation, school of rational expectations. Say, ability to produce depends on expenditure. I got to read that a little bit more. But anyway. So, I mean, basically the economic concepts are don't fuck with the money. We're fucking with the money. Let us choose what we do. We vote with our pockets. So we say, this is how much. And that's what we basically do. So this is what's happening to us. So be it this €5 or this. Now, what I don't understand is, why is this €5 worth more than this $5? This is worth more. Why? This is just as fucked as this. So how does that FX come into play, that they're saying, no, the euro is worth more than the dollar? How can that be? How can that be? We're the world reserve currency. How can anything be more than us? Yet the pound's 80 cents to the dollar. So we buy $1 buys you 80 cents, not over $1 a pound. $1 buys you 91 or 92 cents of euro. So it doesn't even buy you a whole euro. Swiss francs, same thing. It's about 91, 92%. So wait a minute, the US dollar is not buying what it is, and you're telling me there's no inflation or very small? Yeah, that's the problem. So this is all coming to a head where this is already losing value, which you can see here. So a 5 of this is not worth as much as a 5 of this. And a 5 of this isn't worth shit either. Let's not forget that. So going to Europe is getting more and more expensive because the euro is 91 cents to the dollar, and it's expensive. And then they're starting to put premiums on when you exchange it that so like I said, I bought 300 euros, should have cost me 324 at 108. Cost me 366 because they're putting a premium because they don't want the dollar either. So your only way out of this mess is gold and silver because you want to get out of both of this. You want to get out of this and this. Now, if I would have told you this is backed by gold, I'd be switching my money into this. I would have went to Europe, taken $50,000 and bought 50,000 euros and shoved them in my safe. Instead, I took $50,000 and thing is to buy the gold, is to get out of the dollar. And that's what Alistair, that's what he tells you is get out of the system, get out of the fiat system. So they are basically doing just printing this with nothing behind it. Well, that doesn't hold the value. The value doesn't hold if you don't have any value behind it. So I can sell you this, but you got whiskey in here. So I'm selling you the whiskey. You get the bottle, but basically you get what you're getting something, right? You are getting 750 milliliters of Canadian Club whiskey. What are you getting with this? You're getting nothing. There's nothing to it. It's fucking paper. So you're not getting anything with the dollar. It's not backed by gold. That's why you need it backed by gold, because then you have the whiskey, right? You don't have, this is an empty bottle. That's a full bottle. That's the difference. This is an empty bottle. My €5 isn't empty. This is as empty as this. There's nothing there. It's backed by air. And it's coming to the end, and you just see the gold is the whiskey. You have the gold. You have the physical. That's the value. And that's the difference. So that's why you get out of the dollar, because you need to be in something. So I tell you, get a Rolex, get the Mantle card, get an asset. Now, normally, but with these, I get my value out. And to get the full value out, I need to have I need to charge more. That's where the interest rate gets in. So normally the house is the asset to get out of the fiat. To get out of this, you could buy a house. The problem is the houses have already gone up so much that it's not gonna go up from here. So if you buy a $500,000 house and you pay 10% for it, you're not going to make any money, because the house is not going to go if it hadn't had the jump already. So let's say it's a $200,000 house. It's now selling for $5, right? So now, yes, you get out of your fiat and you buy your asset, your house, and then it goes up to $1 million. That's what should happen. But because it's already jumped from 2 to 5, and now the interest rates are 10, 15%, there's no value to be made in the house right now. That's why I steer you to gold, because gold's still stuck down at a price that's not the real value. It's the only thing that hasn't really jumped, right? The house jumped, the Mantle card jumped, the Rolex has already jumped. All those have already gone up. Now they're not in bubbles; they just gone up, and the dollar's on its way out, and then therefore gold has been held down, is going to jump. And that's why we're in the gold and silver, is the jump we're about to get. And like I said, it's going to be a huge jump once the Russians and the Chinese get into the gold standard, get into the money backed by gold. They'll need the price to go way up, and they need the gold to go up to pay off some debt and whatever. So that's really the key to it. And that's why I tell you that, because The biggest thing is they're inflating this, which means the value of this is going down, period. So we need to get out. That's the whole point. Is gold being price fixed down? Yes. I don't understand how these people are so fucking stupid. They don't understand this by now. Yes, yes, yes. Gold's being price fixed down because COMEX wants it down because JP Morgan wants to keep the monopoly going and they don't want competition. So if they make gold look cheap, nobody will run to it. Now it's money, so I don't know what that has to do with the price of tea in China. I'm not really buying gold for it to go up to $10,000. However, it's going to do that. I'm buying gold to get out of the dollar here. I'm buying gold to get out of this because if I hold this, it's going to zero. So I can either hold this and go to zero, or I can sell this and buy gold, which will go way up, and it'll never go to zero. So why take the risk? So that's really what the point is. And so, yes, it's being price fixed down by JP Morgan and the derivatives and the bullion banks. The paper gold, where they sell 1 million ounces of stuff they don't have. They're not selling gold, they're selling derivatives of gold. That's the key. So they're selling paper, and the paper price is the 2,000 that you see is not the real price. It's not the physical price. And that's why I say there's two prices, paper and physical, and it's going to go to physical. And that's what the Russians and Chinese are doing. So when these idiots say, well, I don't know why isn't gold going up? Because they don't want it to go up. They're trying to keep it down. However, they won't be successful. They can do it a little bit, but they won't. Even now, it's so silver just hit 26. They took the price down. It's already gone to 26, and it's going a hell of a lot higher because they can't keep it. You can't stop it. You can slow it down a little bit, and then there's a point you can't stop it with the derivative shit. And these banks are going to lose their ass because they are in it for they are shorting gold and silver into a bull market like they have never seen before. So once it goes, it's going to really zoom. So keep that in mind. Anyway, let's see. That's what's it. We talked college football. Talked a little bit about poker. Again, you don't necessarily can read the tell if somebody like the professor here gives you a fake tell. How do you read me? If I give you a fake tell where I drop my I've done this before. I've had a full house, and I know you're looking at me, and I'll act nervous, and I'll take my hand and knock my chips over. And then I get an immediate call because the guy thinks I'm nervous and bluffing, and I'm doing it on purpose as a song and a dance. He calls, I turn over a full house. He goes, fuck. So if you're going to read me for my tell, you're not getting a real tell. So be careful if you play a guy like me that you can't necessarily read my tells. But you should look for them. People they'll get it because they can't control themselves. They're going to get excited with a big hand. When they're bluffing, they're going to get nervous and still and everything like that. So you got to learn each person. What else? I don't know. That's about it. So I start work, looks like on Monday. I'll get my computer, looks like tomorrow. I got to go to my doctor and get my foot. See, like right now, I'd love to get a hot tub, but the point of walking to the pool and walking back, my foot would kill me. It's starting to hurt now, sitting for 2 hours. Plus, I did the 20-minute on, yes, the gold is actually price fixed. Like, unbelievable. Anyway, I think that's about it. Tonight, we're going with Golden State, laying 6. Backs against the wall. They have to win or they go down 2-0 to the Lakers. So look for Golden State to play their best game. And then you just keep betting. Like I think Denver's up 2-0 to Phoenix. Look for Phoenix. See, you think, oh, Denver's got them. But you got to realize Phoenix tomorrow. The bet is Phoenix tomorrow. because they're at home and they have to win. So their incentive is than Denver, who's already won the first two games. And the game's not in Denver. And basketball, one of these sports where the home team, the home field makes a huge difference. So keep that in mind. Anyway, so I'm off to buy some silver. It's 2:30. I got till 5. I gotta ice my foot a little bit and then probably go by 3:00 and see what he has and what his price is. So be careful. Just say, oh, okay, what's going on? What's your prices? He says it, and then you go, okay, give me another 20 ounces of silver. Maybe gold. If he has a quarter ounce of gold or a half ounce, I'll buy that. But I'm really looking to buy. I want to buy more gold, but now that I feel safe, then I'll be buying a few more ounces of gold. Just as much as you can buy. As much as you can buy will make you very rich. It'll make you richer. You can help your girlfriend or your kids or your parents with the gold because you're going to need that. All right, Bobby, have a nice day. I am off to eat and buy some silver. And I don't know if I can't walk, I'm not going to the pool. I might go to the doctor to get more for my foot, but that's about it. All right. Have a great day. www.teaserking.com. I should get my computer tomorrow. I should be on tomorrow since I'm not working until Monday. So I assume I'm working Monday. So I'll be on the weekends, and then we'll see. Well, let's see what my time is. If I can work 7:30 to like 4:00, then I can do an hour show at 4:30, something like that. We'll see. But I'll be on. All right. Have a great day. www.teaserking.com. Catch you tuned. Questions on the NFL draft, NBA playoffs, please ask me there. www.teaserking.com will give you my email. All right, everybody. Have a good day. Take care and stay safe. All right. Thank you.